Okay, so welcome everyone to our Rise to Success bookings week. And Jess is going to get us started off with just a little mindset motivational thing. So, Jess, take it away.
Awesome. So, hey, everybody. So, as you all know, mindset is kind of my thing. So, I told Carrie I'd hop on here to just talk about mindset and bookings real quick so you guys could get started with, the right mindset. So, for those of you who don't know or who haven't heard me talk about mindset yet, what you tell yourself in your brain is literally the most important thing in your life, and especially in your Pampered Chef business. So if you're going around telling yourself that it's hard to get bookings, it's going to be hard to get bookings. If you're going around telling yourself things that people don't want to book a party because everyone is too busy, that's the kind of responses that you're going to get when you ask people to book a party. So be really, really careful about the things that you say to yourself on a regular basis and observe those thoughts. And the other thing I would say with that is don't be too judgmental of yourself. So like if you notice that you're thinking a thought like that, don't judge yourself for thinking it. It's okay. Just try to rearrange it. Find a affirmation that works for you to change that thought. So if the thought is something, whatever it is for you that's going through your head, people are too busy or nobody wants to book a party with me, whatever that thought is, find a new thought that feels better, that counteracts that thought. So if, like, for example, the thought is people are too busy, nobody wants to book a party, your new thought could be, my parties are so much fun and they're so easy, everyone wants to have a party with me. I make my parties quick and easy, and even busy people have fantastic parties with me. Like anything like that just feels better. The only requirement is that it feels better than the original thought. And then put that everywhere. Like I put it on sticky notes all over my house. And then I also think it's really powerful to hand write it out. So like if you're feeling like you're in a funk and you're in a place where you're going to go ask for bookings, but you're noticing that you're thinking those thoughts, like take 5 minutes and just write out some new thoughts. Like just with your journal, with your notebook, whatever, and just write out the new thoughts that you want to think instead. You'll feel so much better going into those bookings. And I promise that if you do that, you'll notice a change. Like you'll notice that it's very different. So I think that covers it, unless anybody has any questions. All right, it's all yours, Carrie.
All right. Well, I think that sounds great. I think sometimes that can be the hardest thing when starting with booking is our mindset. Like, well, nobody wants to book. Well, I've already asked a ton of people, which what does that even mean? Is that 5 people? Is that 20? Is that 100? Like, what's a ton to you? And so sometimes we tell ourselves it's more than what it really is as well. So, yeah, I mean, I think mindset is definitely it. And so sometimes you have to switch your mindset right away to be like, okay, like, everyone wants to book a party with me, and they're not too busy because it doesn't take much time to do a party, right? Like I think we think it takes a lot of time maybe, so that's why they think it, but if we don't think it, then they're not either. So yes,
Absolutely.
love
Awesome.
that. All right, perfect. So the first thing, I just want to hear from all of you guys. So unmute yourselves, but just want to hear some of your successes from this past week. Maybe after last week's call, you're like, oh my gosh, I figured out my why, or you had an aha moment just maybe outside of the call from last week. What was a big aha or a success that you guys had? Share a wow.
Well, aha moment maybe is because my son got married on Friday, and I got a phone call regarding that he got married. Like it wasn't the end. And so we're doing an online bridal shower right now. So, and then I also booked 2 other parties, and I'm going through Dash training again because even though I've been at this for a long time, I need to refresh my stuff.
And Dash is still fairly new, where you might hear something that you already know, but in a different way. And you just like, it clicks finally. Who else? Can be something small, big, doesn't matter the size, guys. No comparison. Just shout it out.
Okay, I'll go. So I wasn't on the call last week, but I did get a chance to listen to it. I wasn't on the call because you guys, I was on the cruise ship that you can earn for level 1. I paid for it with the earnings from Pampered Chef. I didn't get it for free, but I paid for it with Pampered Chef. And seriously, you guys, at minimum shoot for level 1. It was an amazing vacation for my kiddos and for me, and a great getaway. And it just was a good refresher. And I have my list, and I have contacted yet tonight. I already have contacted 32 people. Yes, is that exact, because I'm writing down each person I've contacted, because I'm behind in bookings because I'm gone. And so take a break if you need it for a vacation when you go on the Pampered Chef vacation in April or in May, depending on level 1 or level 2. Aim for it, you guys. This cruise ship, if level 1 itself is unbelievable. I will post some stuff in the group. My son has some GoPro videos of what you get to do on the ship. It's crazy fun, but that's my thing.
I love that. I can't wait to see more.
I suppose my aha, well, Janelle posted something about the freezer meal workshop, and I've kind of been out of that loop for a while. And all of a sudden I was like, yeah, hey. And I got one girl interested, so I gotta put some more out there. But that was more of a little aha, like, hey, I got some more options. So
Yep. And yeah, and you reaching out is the best way. You know, reaching out one-on-one, saying, "Oh my gosh, we have this freezer meal workshop. I thought of you because you're a busy mom." I mean, right? Aren't we all busy? So you could just say because you're busy.
yeah.
Who else? Anyone else?
Yeah, this is Kim. My big aha moment is finally being out of Facebook jail.
Yes, that can be a struggle, but it's nice to be out.
Oh my gosh, I think I've been in it for literally 7 weeks that I've been active since January 1st. So I have to pace myself. I have to calm the beast inside me that just wants to leap out and let everybody know that I'm doing this. So I'm pacing myself.
Yeah, it's a little tricky, especially when starting, and then making sure you have a business page usually helps. But Janelle can get you, and other directors, we can all get you through, walk you through, and try to figure out why maybe you keep going to jail.
Yes, well, I have 2 business pages, so that doesn't help either. But I think I've got it down now. I think I can stay out for a couple of days now.
Laura, were you going to say something?
Yeah, I had a client actually back out of a party. And instead of just going, oh, poor me, I said, well, how about if I reach out to you in 2 weeks?
Yep.
Would that be better?
Yep.
She said, yeah, please.
And sometimes they need to do that. Sometimes it's just a crazy moment for them. Something came up and they just need to delay their party 1 week even, or just 2 weeks. Sometimes it's like, sorry, life is crazy. And we have to kind of give them permission. Like, hey, is now a crazy time? Would it be better if we just held off for a week or two? And then we still have that party, and it's going to be much more successful than maybe at that moment. Even though it's hard.
Yeah, I
want to hold on, but
yeah, I didn't let it get to me.
that's awesome.
And that was an aha moment for me, because usually I let that get to me really hard.
Yeah. What else? Any other successes from this past week?
Oh, go ahead. I actually, for health reasons, I had to choose between school and selling Pampered Chef. I chose Pampered Chef.
Woo! I mean, hopefully your health issues get better so you can go back to school. But
Oh, yeah. I just had too much stress going on, and yeah, I had
that's
to
fair.
cut back.
Someone else was talking.
Oh, yep. I don't have my video up. I don't know why. This is Lisa. And I started reading the Wisdom of Oz book, and I took a journal out and I started writing down what I want.
Yep.
Or maybe I can get video now. I don't know. But I started making a list, and it's just all over the board. And it's so incredible when you start making the list, all the random things in your head that you start writing down.
Yep. I think that really helps you, kind of like what Jess went over last week, finding your why. Just write it down. What do you want? Okay, what else? And once that's done, then what else? and what else? And like really help me really figure out what do I want. And what I want, it's not going to happen for 5 years from now, but I have all these baby steps I have to accomplish to get there. And, but it's such a great feeling, like knowing, oh my gosh, that actually might be possible because I figured it out and I laid it out. So now I can break everything else down. I know how many parties I need and all that stuff, what kind of income I need. Yeah.
And just with life in general, I mean, I just started I've never done it before. Everybody says that's your first step. You have to do this. You have to write it down. You have to have a goal. And I'm like, nah, that's boring. I don't want that part. The baby must be into something.
Yes, he pulled the register up. So usually I wouldn't be having him, but tonight's a unique night. All right, anybody else? I think there's a lot of probably wahoos you guys aren't saying, and that's okay. You know, but be sure to shout out. So you're going to actually see from me tomorrow. I'm going to have you guys do a Wow Wednesday. I want to hear something exciting that's happening in your guys' lives, business, you know, whatever. Sometimes those things go hand in hand. So I'm really excited to hear what you guys have to say tomorrow. So, all right. So let's kind of dip into the training here a little bit. One of the things that I wanted to talk about, and Joni kind of hit it on the head earlier, is just the accountability of your contacts. Okay. So if you are wanting to, throughout your business, some good habits to have is to make 25 two-way contacts a week outside of your parties. That's a back and forth conversation. So I wanted to show you guys here. I'm going to pull this up and share my screen, but I'm going to share you guys, Kayla shared this with me, her contacts, okay? So let's see here. I'm going to blow this up a little bigger. So this is what she does, a simple notebook. That's it. And she then marks down, she writes down 1 through 20, not here, but on another page I'll show you here, she writes down all of her contacts, who they are, and how they responded. No, maybe if they have a friend that sells, not right now. They did book, you know, so she writes down pretty much all their responses. Okay. And again, and then here, like she started numbering them and she's gotten further. This is a really great way to know, like she might've had to make 80 contacts, get 25 people to respond, but it's good to know your numbers. How many people are saying yes to you after booking? Or like earlier when I was talking about mindset, sometimes you're like, oh, I made a ton of contacts. Well, what is a ton? Does that mean 5? Does that mean 80 or 100 or 1,000? I mean, okay, 1,000's excessive maybe, but how many contacts are you making? You guys make it super simple like this. Doesn't have to be hard. But it's good to know whether you are looking for bookings or you're looking for leads for people to join your business, it's good to have these lists. So you could, on one side, have your bookings, okay? And then on the back side of this piece of paper, you could have your leads to join your team. It's good to know their reasons, or sometimes they say, oh, you know, not till I retire or this or that. And so that's okay. But then you know when to contact and reach back out to them again. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this. Does anybody do this currently? Anybody tracking? Joni's tracking because, yeah, she knew exactly 32 people that she contacted. So, yeah, there's a few of you. I see some hands up. So that's awesome. So that is a really great habit to build every single week. If you are needing to grow your business, then you want to maybe be doing more contacts than just that 25. I think 25 is a great start. Okay. That is a really great start, especially if you're having parties as well. That's outside of the party. So then you're having parties as well. So you're reaching out to your guests there too. Okay. That's going to be a challenge for you guys for this next week. Make sure just grab a notebook, and anytime you're reaching out to people, to just write down their names. So it's always important that we are always learning. So I did post out a training video last week as well, so about networking. So I'm just going to talk a little bit more about networking and even the importance of prospecting. So when it comes to prospecting, you know, we have to think about, okay, who are we asking? Who could be a potential host and all of that. So I'm gonna have you guys answer this. Talk amongst yourself here for a half a second here, or 30 seconds. But who do you think are good people, or why do you think it's good to ask different groups of people in different circles of friends and family? Why is it good to get different groups of people and friends and family that you know, rather than the same group?
Well, you build out your area. Like each set of friends or each set of group is a whole new group of people you're going to meet on top of that.
You don't want
Exactly.
your party source to dry out.
And I will tell you,
Exactly.
when you're stuck with one group, you are not going anywhere. Trust me. Been there.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you're
Each
going in
group leads-
circles.
Each
that
group
same group.
leads to another group.
Yep, you're exactly right. I mean, okay, this is a really weird analogy, but say your palm is one group, right? Hopefully you can go out to different groups, and from there each finger is a new palm with a new, new hand, basically. Now all of a sudden you have five new people. Because hopefully each party, as you ask people to when they're hosting, and as you ask them to invite people, you're helping them think of, okay, your coworkers, your spouse's coworker, your ex-spouse's coworker, your relatives, their relatives. Okay, now you have old coworkers, you have old friends, you have new friends, you have church people, and you have your hairstylists, and you have different people. And then that one, someone books from that party, and now they're going to do the same thing. So it's really good to try to get, those different groups as you prospect, as you think about even starting with yourself. What are the different types of people you can ask to have your party? Okay. So how? Sometimes I think that can be the hardest thing, is like, okay, well, how do we ask them, or where, maybe? So besides maybe just personally face-to-face asking people, hey, do you want to have a party? What are other ways we can maybe ask people to have parties?
Maybe just ask them what product they want, what's on their wish list.
Yep.
I bring up my products a lot. I'm in Weight Watchers, and so when we go to the meetings, a lot of times when we're talking about snacks or whatever, I'll bring up, oh yeah, I use my pineapple core to make pineapple spears or whatever, and just kind of hint it. Pampered Chef this, Pampered Chef that, and I have a feeling eventually somebody's going to catch on. And then you've already dropped the hints and talked about how wonderful the products are and how much easier they're making it. Do the same thing at work. When we have a potluck, I take stuff in using my products, whether it's my Rock Crock, my Cool and Serve, whatever it is. I always, church gatherings, whatever, I take stuff in my products. And then when people ask, oh, what recipe was that? Or can I have that recipe? Like I did with the caramel sauce for Christmas. And then I had a chance to break up the blender, and I ended up with a party out of taking caramel sauce for Christmas present.
Yep.
I use those to get a conversation started, so I'm not just cold asking all the time.
Yep. And that's awesome. And then one of the things to think about too, with March coming up, do you know the prices at 60% off of some of those big items? Could you tell me right now how much they could get that air fryer for at 60% off?
$111.
Yeah, $111 and 60 cents. Like, you know.
I knew it was $111. I couldn't remember the cents.
It's technically $112 just to round it. Okay, that's fine. But you want to know those numbers. If they have an issue, or they're like, oh my gosh, that sounds really awesome, and you're like, yeah, I use the blender. Like, did you see this blender? Right, and then tell them how much is that going to cost them? $139 instead of $349 when they host a party in March. What do you think?
Well, that and like going live, I didn't realize how many people watch my videos of me making a complete fool of myself constantly. Until like my sister, it's like my brother-in-law, I guess, watches religiously. Like he'll stop her, whatever she's doing, be like, no, I have to watch her. So.
Yep. And that's a great point, going live. So I went live tonight with my supper, and doing just posts of like, this is what I'm making is the best thing to do. Another thing I'll just bring up too is when you post on Facebook, that can be really tricky, because you don't want to just be like, hey, someone have a party with me. But there are ways where you can post that creates interest to then individually ask people. So we've done it before, saying which product would you want at 60% off? Again, we'll have that in March here, so that's really great. They're gonna comment like, oh my gosh, these would be awesome, I love this one. Then you individually message them and tell them that individual price for that product, right? So we've done it before, and it's a really great way then to be personal and ask them for that booking as well. Okay, anybody, been brave enough. So one of the other things is—
Can I mention one more thing, Carrie? When you have somebody contact you about a replacement part, a return, a problem, turn that problem into a booking. I had somebody with a web order, and all they ordered was the seal for the quick cooker. The last time I tried to start a conversation with her, which was shortly after the party, I wanted, like a 2-month follow-up or whatever, she ghosted me. And I asked her, how do you like that quick cooker? And she ghosted me. So then she got this seal. And so I said, hey, looks like you're loving that quick cooker. You'd already wore out one of your seals. And then we started back and forth, and she told me how she loved it and what she used it for and all this stuff. And I said, oh my gosh, we should totally do an online party. Or actually, we should totally do a party. Maybe we could make a quick cooker recipe too at your party. I'll bet your friends would love it. Something like that. She ended up booking an in-home party, and I was having trouble getting her to even talk to me. $12, right? I only made $3 on that sale, but woohoo, got a party out of it. So always try to make those customer service type contacts, turn them into a booking. Don't think of them as bad things and, oh, what a pain in the butt, somebody wants to return something or whatever, or has a problem. That's an opportunity.
And on top of what Janelle's saying, I've had multiple different times, or at least 2 or 3, where a customer in my party comes to me and says, I bought this product from another consultant. It's got this issue. My consultant won't answer me. I've tried contacting them multiple times. Can you help me fix this problem? And every single time I jump on it, I deal with it that same day or the next morning if it's at night, and I get it taken care of for them. I've booked a party off every single one of those. Maybe not right away, but when they get their problem fixed, I have a party booked off of it.
Yep. It's called good customer service. That's our business. And building a relationship too, right? They're going to remember what you did for them. My gosh, they're gonna know your name. They're gonna keep your phone number in their phone. Pampered Chef, crazy lady, which is great. They're gonna reach out to you time and time again.
Candy was trying to say something too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, when you go to your doctor's office, take a catalog with you and sit there and look through it, because you've got people in the waiting room, you've got your doctors and your nurses, and they're gonna just want to see what you're looking at, and they'll be interested, and you can get booking off of that too. I've done that.
Leave one behind. Leave one in the waiting room. I mean,
actually, yeah, I got a phone call from my doctor asking me to bring extra catalogs to my appointment. So,
Yeah, I do that to physical therapy. I got 2 bookings out of going to physical therapy.
That's awesome.
Also, oh, sorry. I was going to say, if you have logo wear it. Like, I have a bunch of them that I've gotten over the years from conferences and stuff. And I use those for my gym shirts when I go to the gym at 4:00 in the morning, and I got this little social group, and I've gotten a few sales off that. And so I think we're going to do a healthy thing at the gym one of these days. So yeah.
I think you guys could do this training for me. I tell you what, these are all these things I had on the list, and I'm like, well, done talking about that. So seriously though, because I was gonna next say the idea of doing what's called the 10 mini catalog challenge or recipes. What you're doing, right, when you go to the doctor's office, or you have your mini catalog, or maybe a recipe card or something with your information on it, put a sticky note on it, right? You can hand it to them, be like, if they see what you're looking at, oh my gosh, you sell Pampered Chef? Yes, I do. Here, you want a recipe card, or what you looking at, right? Here's a recipe card, or here's a mini catalog. And then get their information. I have wording for you guys that you can use to even just simply say like, you know, I'm with Pampered Chef and it's part of my job to give away 10 of these every week. And I'd love to give this to you. If you would take a minute just to fill this out, I can give you a call back when you have more time, especially if they're in a rush. Otherwise, some people like to enter them into their have a monthly drawing. So, and their monthly drawing could be, people used to do a free cooking party. If you do cooking parties, they bring the ingredients. For virtual, you could simply say, like, you could win a prize and you could call them and say, hey, when everybody's a winner, hey, when you book a party with me, an online party with me, I'll give you a Season's Best Cookbook for free. I mean, why not? It doesn't have to be expensive. Not only that, but if you order them on the supply, they're only $1 a piece. Or if you add them to their order, if you don't order them ahead of time, you're making commission on that $2. And it's an expense. So everybody can be a winner. And you can choose whatever you want. Some people like to do the mini catalogs. I really like the recipe card idea. Pampered Chef does it. I looked on Supply Order just the other day. They don't sell them anymore, but I do know some people that make them themselves. You could do that. You don't have to. You could probably print off a piece of paper as well. Recipe, just make your own even on paper. It doesn't have to be super pretty, but people love those Pampered Chef recipes. They're so good. So, or a Season's Best Cookbook. That could be something you hand out too.
So if somebody, if you make a contact and then they're like, no, I don't want to do a party, but you can send me the new catalog. So do you go ahead and send out your new catalogs so quickly?
I think that just depends on how you want to run your business, but typically yes, because I might even say to them, why don't you take a catalog and share it with your friends? If you collect a few orders, I'll give you, you're going to get $20 in free. Basically, they don't know they're having a party, but they are.
Okay.
You just sometimes have to reword it for them because sometimes they're saying no because it feels like a lot of pressure. They have to do all this stuff, or they don't want to do the virtual online world. They don't want to deal with Facebook. They don't like Facebook. So they might just want to do a catalog party. And I offer that to people sometimes. They're like, oh, I don't know if I could do that Facebook stuff. I'm like, not a problem. We could do a catalog party instead. So that's a possibility. And I have had it sometimes where some people have spent $200 themselves. And so they have really their own party with themselves as well.
If you're referring to like Mary, like like I did a post on my wall about the new catalog. What I do with that is I haven't done it because I haven't taken the time to, but I need to go do that. And I respond to all of them and I try to get a party. And if they don't want to do a party, then I might say, I can send you a full catalog and a couple order forms. You can pass it around. If they still say no, I just send them a mini. They really just want to see what's new, some of them. So then, I don't typically always spend the $1.50 to mail the one catalog. Then I will just drop them a mini in the mail. That has all the new products in it.
Okay.
Yeah, those minis can be a little bit cheaper, so that's nice. That's just one challenge. Back in the day at our team meetings, man, you sat there with your contacts and you picked up the phone and you called people. So I don't think we can do that a little bit differently now. We can obviously message people, text people. We don't have to pick up the phone, but there's nothing wrong with picking up the phone still. And even just simply, again, there's a script out there to even just simply say like, oh my gosh, this is Carrie with Pampered Chef. I'm so excited. There are some incredible things going on with our company right now. And I thought of you because I know how much you love Pampered Chef, whatever it may be. But then even to say like, hey, I'm excited about what's coming up here in the month of March with new products and the host rewards. Like, do you have a minute to hear about it? Ask permission. And sometimes they're like, yeah. And so you can just talk to them about what's going on. Maybe you have a theme for your parties. Maybe you just want to be like, oh my gosh, I'm showing off the new products. I know how much you would love to have that air fryer or that cast iron, or I already know you have the blender. You need the individual smoothie cup. Like you need that too. So just, make sure it's relatable to them. And then of course, always when you offer a party, to have 2 dates. Know what your next 2 dates are. When are they? I could tell you right now that it'd be like, well, I have March 1st and March 8th available. I don't have many spots left on them, but I have a couple spots. Okay, so I just want to kind of move into here, getting bookings from your parties. I will tell you right now, I probably average 1.5 bookings from each party. Yeah, last month I had 11 parties and got 21 bookings from them. So that just to let you guys know, because it's super important to follow the steps as far as, and that's what I'm going to go over here. So the first step, plant the seeds, right? What are you doing throughout your party to plant the seed about booking a party? Are you, if you have a product come up that's at 60% off that month, are you talking about it? And are you telling them what they could get it for if they host their own party? I know in some of the templates we ask past hosts, what have you gotten for free? I know there's a post that is floated around. Which of these items would you get if Muddy wasn't an object? That's a booking, whether you know it or not, that's a booking seed, right? Because they might say, I want this large bar pan. Well, we can get that for them for free with their free product. Yes, we can get some of those larger items at 50% off and sometimes 60 if it's the right month, but we can always get all of the items at 50% off when they have their own party. So those are seeds, and that's where you reach out again individually to ask them and talk to them about that. Let them know, oh my gosh, I see you had your eye on did you know you can get it this month at this price? Super simple. Like, what do you think about having your own party? Always end with that question. Okay. Sometimes I might be just talking about a product in general as well. And again, if that's the host special coming up, I'm gonna say that in that post. Did you guys know, like after I tell them all the amazing details and the benefits of that product, like did you know you can get this at 60% off? Okay. And I think even at the beginning, you can talk a little bit about bookings if you're doing an introduction while you're sharing your story, to even be like, oh, I'm so thankful that Susie Q is hosting her party. I can't wait to spoil her with free and reduced products. Even that's a seed, letting them know what they get, because sometimes they don't even know they get free products. Sometimes they think they only get a discount. Even that. And then again, at the very end with your strong close, whether again you have a post or maybe a video, again reminding them of the bookings or how they can get, there's different ways to get products, right? You can just buy it outright, you can have your own party and get free and reduced, or you could start your own business because we earn free products or we get it at a discount as well. There's lots of ways to do that. Okay, and then I just want to show you guys, you saw this last week as well, but just the importance again of getting 2 bookings from every party. I'm just gonna pop this up. Again, you don't want to go out of business, okay? So if you have 6 parties, you always want to be ready for cancellations, okay? Sometimes most of them stick. You might have all of them stick one month, but the next month you might have a few cancellations. So always be prepared for that. So if you have 6 and 2 cancel, you had 4 parties held. Okay. Now, if you get 2 bookings, now you have 8 new parties, right? You are growing. If you only get 1 booking, you only have 4 new parties. So if next month you have 4 parties and 2 cancel, now you have 2. And again, you only get 2 bookings, 1 from each party. You have 2 in month 3, both of them end up canceling, and now you're out of business. So that's the importance. Now, it's easiest and best to get them from the party, but we just gave you lots of great examples of how to get those bookings outside of the party as well. So if for some reason you are struggling to get that second booking or to get 1 even, then some people will not close their parties until they've reached out to enough people to get those future bookings. So you just have to decide the best way, easiest way is to get them from your party. That's where I definitely would start. And then of course from there you can go outside of the box. The other thing I want to share with you guys as well that works really well for me to getting those bookings, I've informed them, right? We've planted all those seeds throughout the party. Then it comes to the inviting or asking them at the end of the party. So one of two things that you can do. One of the things I do at the end of every single party, I text, I should say, or I used to call. So every once in a while I get back on the phone and call, but I do what's called full service checkout. I check in with every single person that ordered, ask them if they found everything okay. I might try to upsell them as far as, you're only $10 away from the guest special. Did you want anything else? Okay. But then I ask them about the business. Did you want to learn more about the business? Have you ever thought about earning extra income? My next question then is going to be one other thing. Would you like to have your own party and let me spoil you with some free and reduced products? Susie Q will also get the credit for that, and it doesn't have to be right away. Okay, I ask every single person, and if they didn't, and I ask each of these questions one at a time. If they don't respond to me right away, that's okay. I just go back and I ask again. I just say, hey, I didn't hear back from you. Just want to make sure Susie Q gets the credit. What do you think? Follow-up is key. It's super key. And doing that personal message text. I personally choose to use the phone because if I'm using Facebook Messenger, they might not be my friend. They might not see it. Text message, they typically are going to see it. So if they gave me a landline phone, then that's when I'm going to pick up the phone more than likely and call them, especially if we're not Facebook friends. If we're Facebook friends, I might try that first, but otherwise I might pick up that phone. I know it sounds scary. It's a 1,000-pound phone, but I tell you what, it's super important. Okay, so I just want to quickly show you guys here our call to action. So make sure you guys are doing the 25 two-way contacts, okay? And I'll post this on our group page, but I want you guys to observe a strong sellers party. How are they informing? Okay, how are they doing all of that? Practice putting those booking lines and even recruiting lines into your strong open. Group selling, that's just throughout your party, okay? Or sometimes we have our host say, hey, what's your favorite product? And sometimes that can kind of get out there, or again, if money was no object, in your confident close. I'm also going to post tomorrow another recording about how to have a full calendar. It's really good. If you want to make the most of this program, I highly recommend listening to it. Keep chatting with your director. Again, that's going to get you the most out of this program. And then it's sometimes the hardest thing. We're like, oh, we'll get to that later, but schedule time.